Hi everyone, this is David Hoffman from Davidsbeenhere. Today I want to talk to you about the top 10 Indian street foods you have to try in the Indian state of Meghalaya, also known as Scotland of the East. The food in Meghalaya is very different from the cuisine in the other 7 sister states of northeast India. Instead, the food is heavily influenced by its 3 main indigenous tribes, the Kassie, the Garos, and the Gantias. In Meghalaya, rice is the base for most meals and is usually paired with a spicy meat, poultry, or fish. Because most of the people in Meghalaya identify as Christians instead of Hindu, beef isn't considered taboo there and is a regular part of the diet, along with pork, which is also very difficult to find in other places in India. The sharp contrast in the foods found in other parts of India make Meghalaya almost like another world in itself. The food is freaking incredible. Before we jump into the video, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to get updated when all the new videos drop. Now, you guys ready to learn about the top 10 Indian street foods you have to try in the Indian state of Meghalaya? Let's do it. When you travel to Meghalaya, you're going to want to base yourself out of the capital city of Shillong, which offers tons of street food options and is within a few hours drive to most places in the state. But in Shillong, you'll want to start with the Iewduh Market. This place is sensory overload. Right next to the fruit market, you'll find Nat Khasi Restaurant, which serves an insanely good pork feast. I recommend trying the Jadoh, which is a rice and pork dish that reminded me of a non-veg biryani, and the creamy Dohklieh, which is almost like a Kassie version of the Russian salad. The pork liver at Nat Khasi Restaurant is very chewy and super flavorful, and you can't miss the pork intestine sausage, which is an explosion of pork goodness in your mouth. If you're brave enough, try a chili and fermented soybean chutney, which is a flavor bomb on your palate. The pork dishes contain small bones, so be careful, but all in all, this meal is a home run. Wow. Then right here we have the pork, and I already see bones. Oh my god. So juicy, so fatty. From the Iewduh Market, make the drive over to Police Bazar, where you'll find a small restaurant called Trattoria. There you'll find the second food on our list, the Kassie Thali. Like Nat Khasi Restaurant, one of Trattoria Restaurant's specialties is the paella-like Jadoh, which contains pieces of rich and fatty pork. Add a fermented soybean sauce to the Jadoh to give it a new layer of earthiness. The Dohklieh contains pork, potato, onion, and tastes similar to ceviche. There's also a light and mild dal mash, a very potent and spicy fish chutney, and a mint chutney with a powerful punch to it. I also recommend the banana flour chutney, which tasted like mashed plantain, as well as the pork balls and juicy pieces of pork fat. But the main event at Trattoria Restaurant is the magnificent chicken curry, which is like an explosion of flavors in your mouth. It was so tasty and good enough to drink. I love it. Very moist. Nice piece of pork in there, a little fatty. Fantastic. So first thing we're gonna try is this nice piece of fat. Oh my god, look at that fat. Delicious gelatin. After you're done with Trattoria Restaurant, come to the Police Bazar after nightfall, which is when the street vendors open shop. There are lots of tasty options around the bazaar, but there are 2 you must try no matter what, the Momos and the Child. The chicken momos are basically dumplings with moist pulled chicken inside. They're served with a pretty mild red sauce, which amplifies the flavors and adds it to a wonderful mix of contrasting textures. Meanwhile, the Child consists of thin, dry noodles with a piece of tender chicken and onion. It's pretty similar to the glass noodles you can find in Thailand and tastes like $1,000,000 when you add some green chili sauce for a kick of heat. It's like steaming. Really moist. The chicken feels like it's been pulled. Hot sauce is not too hot. It's perfect. Oh, look at that. It's like green chili with mint. Oh, it's really spicy.
I told you.
Oh. I know I've mentioned Dohklieh a few times on this list, but that's only because it's without a question one of the most flavorful and unique pork dishes I've ever eaten. Another place you can find this traditional Kassie dish is Police Bazar. You'll have to get there early in the morning to try it. It tastes even better than usual when you eat it alongside some delicious pork fat, some juicy meatballs, and a flatbread called Chapati. The Chapati is also perfect for wrapping up pieces of pork innards, which have a gelatin-like texture and are full of juice and flavor. If you enjoy brains like I do, then you'll definitely love the pork innards. It almost tastes like a Russian salad but with pork. I'm gonna grab a piece of this fat, just cut it up. Oh, look at that. So amazing. Okay, here we go. I love fat. I love that. While you're exploring the street food stalls at Police Bazar in the morning, you'll want to try a Pita, which is a tasty pounded rice patty that also contains coconut and sugar. The Pita was a little different from the Assamese version I had earlier in the trip, but it was still extraordinary. It's thick, airy, sweet and filling, and it's bursting with a mouth-watering coconut flavor. It's the perfect way to wrap up your breakfast street food tour. Coconut, man. Very airy. It almost feels like a dessert. You have the sugar and the coconut, which makes it feel like very like sweet, right?
Yeah.
Oh. I love that the plate is paper. One of the best things about doing deep, immersive solo traveling is the people you meet along the way. When I travel solo, I like to contact locals who can serve as my guide, so I can get the most local experience possible. And there's nothing more local or immersive than being invited into a new friend's home and being served a traditional home-cooked meal. During my time in Shillong, my guide Paul and I were invited to his friend Jordan's house for a fantastic Kassie meal that included perfectly fried mincemeat beef patties, tender and fatty pork with a mind-blowing sesame curry, and a chewy, dried beef that was almost like an Angus jerky. The feast that Jordan's mom whipped up for us was one of the best food experiences I had in Meghalaya. It was freaking amazing. This is delicious. This is the best bean salad ever. So it's like a sesame curry. Let's go for the chili.
You can have all the chili.
Your mother's amazing. That was incredible. After spending a few days in Shillong, take a drive south to the area of Chapati. On the way, make a pit stop at the small town of Milla, where you'll find a tiny restaurant called Our Karbangar Tea Stall, where you can order a variety of fantastic dishes including chewy pork intestines with liver and Dohklieh. But you should really go there for their outstanding chicken curry with a steamed rice cake called putaro. The chicken was so juicy and fell apart in my mouth. The curry was light, but the flavors in it were anything but. I love letting the purato soak up the curry like a sponge and eating it with the rest of the food on my plate. I was in Kassie food heaven. A Venezuelan arepa. Rice dough, but it has the same consistency of an arepa, a Venezuelan arepa. This is amazing with breakfast. From the town of Milla, continue south towards the area of Chapati. Slow down as you pull up to the stunning and picturesque Mokdok Valley. After you admire the view, pull into a small nearby restaurant to try some amazing prawn Maguey. This is a dish made with prawns and instant noodles. Don't let the instant turn you off from it. The Maguey is intensely flavorful and full of spices that made my mouth water after every bite. You can choose between two sauces, a spicy one and a sweet tomato-based one that was like an organic ketchup. Texture-wise, the Maguey had a really nice crunch, and I love the prawn flavor throughout. These were easily the best instant noodles I've ever had in my life. Oh, this looks so amazing, and for breakfast, dude, great. It's not masala, but some spices in here.
Yeah, spices. Yeah.
Spices. I love the crunch with the super moist noodles. It's really hot still. Another day trip you can take south from Shillong is a road trip to Phnom in the Dohklieh area. Along the riverbanks of the beautiful Umgat River are a collection of river huts that serve as restaurants. It is here that you'll find one of the most spectacular meals in Meghalaya. You have to try the river fish curry, which consists of a huge fillet and is very light but fishy. It's perfect when mixed with rice, but just make sure to look out for the bones. There's also a moist and buttery beef curry that reminded me a lot of oxtail. It was some of the highest quality beef I'd ever had. It was soft, ultra tender, and full of remarkable flavors that made my taste buds go wild. The jackfruit is mixed with spinach, bamboo, onions, peppers, and mushrooms, and was one of the many highlights of this meal, as was the tasty but bony fish fry. Don't forget the tomato chutney, which contains onions and chilies and was exactly like a Mexican salsa, the bitter jungle vegetables, and a beautiful dal that had a light and fruity flavor. The entire meal blew my mind. Next up, I'm gonna try the jackfruit.
Yeah,
jackfruit right here?
Yeah, right there.
Okay. It's so good. I'm eating the whole thing right now.
You're right.
I love veggies. Green veggies. And the way they make it here, nice and oily. At the same time, it has a little bit of curry. On your way back north to Shillong from the Dohklieh area, I highly recommend you make a stop at the town of Litingat, which is about an hour outside of the capital. Search the street food stalls until you find a vendor selling one of my favorite dishes in the entire world, and the final entry on our list, blood sausage. The sausage is served chopped up on a banana leaf with onions, chili, and peppers. This blood sausage was addictive. The amazing texture and hot, spicy meat were like something sent from the gods. The spices perfectly complemented the flavor of the blood and intestines. I could have stood there and eaten blood sausage all night, but unfortunately, I had to go back to Shillong. Let me get some with the chili. Oh, it's still a little hot. Damn, so juicy. Oh, spicy. Okay. Wow, this is real street food. And there you go, those were my top 10 Indian street foods you have to try in Meghalaya, India. The food in the state has completely changed the way I think about Indian food. From the amazing pork dishes like Jadoh, Dohklieh, innards, and blood sausage to the outstanding beef, chicken, and noodle dishes. Meghalaya food is some of the tastiest and most unique in the entire country, and I cannot recommend it more highly. And that's it for Meghalaya, guys. I hope you enjoyed this top 10 Indian street foods you have to try in the state of Meghalaya. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment below, and subscribe to my channel for more awesome travel content. I've been to the state of Meghalaya, India. Where have you been?